Millions of people around the world are experiencing financial hardship. A 2018 Gallup poll showed the economic crises have had a lasting effect on people's well-being worldwide. There were over 105 million bankruptcy filings globally in 2017. And even billionaire Bill Gates said recently that another global financial crisis is a certainty. Are you not experiencing the financial well-being you want? Are you struggling with expenses like medical bills, credit card debt, mortgages, and auto loans? Are you worried about your savings, college tuition for your children, or your retirement? We don't believe life was made to be lived like this, and that's why we developed DH Life, a comprehensive financial education and opportunity program designed to help us reap the rewards we deserve. DH Life is here to create nothing short of a new era of human prosperity. The D stands for the way our lives should be lived, in dominion. H stands for our status as heirs of God's riches. And life stands for your new lifestyle as a dominion heir. Here's how we've helped people just like you re-envision their relationship to wealth and achieve the security and independence they've dreamed of. First, we're going to educate you about wealth-growing opportunities you might not have been aware of. Your new knowledge will help you break the chains of your old thinking about work, money, and wealth. DH Life can help you set up your own business where you're not only earning from your own sales, but from the sales of those working under you. These are just a few of the opportunities made available by DH Life. And since DH Life is dedicated to helping end suffering around the world, you can feel good knowing our foundation, One Vision, One Heart, is providing education and humanitarian aid to communities in need around the globe, and your work will help build on that. So, if you're tired of struggling financially, if you're tired of thinking you could do so much more if you only knew how and where to find the right opportunities, now is the time to let go of despair and reach out for hope and opportunity. DH Life is here to help you achieve the Dominion lifestyle with a new understanding of finances, wealth, and the cryptocurrency revolution. Join the revolution today.
Greetings. I am excited again to be coming to you live today. I'm excited because today I have the Dominionheir himself, Steve Sughrim, and I'm telling you today we are going to have a blast. Let me just take this wonderful opportunity to just say to you, invite someone, share this broadcast with someone, because today I am going to be speaking with the Dominionheir himself concerning living a Dominionheir lifestyle. Let me just get right to it, jump right into it, and call the Dominionheir himself, Apostle Steve Sughrim, just to come and speak to us today. Apostle Steve Sughrim, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you, Prophet Lovemore. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yo, I'm telling you, I'm always excited when we get the opportunity to be able to just come into the people's houses from wherever they're watching us, be it online, be it on their phones or whatever it is that they are. I just want to always make sure that they get the best out of you. So I know that today I've got some exciting questions for you, and I know that you will be able to give us their answers and show us the way which God has been leading you and where He's taking you to.
Amen. Absolutely. You know, so as I was, I really didn't prepare for this morning. And the reason being, this whole concept of the Dominionheir lifestyle is all in my spirit. It's in my soul. It's in my everything, because the whole concept was dropped into my spirit in 2015. I always love sharing that testimony. Because when God gives us an idea, He gives us whether it be a thought or just one word or whatever it may be, it's always for an appointed time, right? Habakkuk 2 tells us this, right? We have to write it down, make it plain, but it's for an appointed time. And we wait for that appointed time. And I look at these concepts, I look at these, what I call spiritual downloads, as seeds, right? And there's seeds in the realms of the unseen, in the realms of the spirit. And we water those seeds with prayer and through prayer. That's the spiritual watering of those seeds. And we wait for that appointed time, because just a matter of time before we reap the harvest. No farmer in his right mind would plant seeds expecting a harvest the next day or the next month, right? There's an appointed time, but he's got to still till the ground. He's got to take care of the weeds. There's certain processes before that harvest comes. And if he doesn't take care of it, right, in terms of the ideas like the Dominionheir lifestyle, if we in the years didn't water it with prayer, continual, consistent, and fervent prayer, what we're about to experience would not have happened. It would not have come to fruition, or what God dropped from the unseen realm will not be manifested in the seen realm. So that farmer knows that he's got to do his part, and he's got to get out there. He's got to, if there's weed, he's got to take care of it, because he knows when that harvest comes, he wants the harvest to just come with ease, seamless, and then he can just go reap, right, the harvest. So, Dominionheir Lifestyle was dropped in my spirit in 2015, and I remember buying that domain. And I've shared this testimony many times, but I always like to lay the foundation so folks actually, get a greater understanding what we're talking about and where we are today. Because a lot of times, people see the end result, right? The end result, which is the manifestation of a vision, a prophecy, a dream, an idea, an invention. They see the end result, but they don't realize the process prior to what one will go through to get there. You see, they only see that. But we always have to go back from the beginning, go back to the beginning where it all started so they can understand. So it will help someone as they're watching this broadcast live or the rebroadcast to understand, okay, God will drop ideas in your spirit. God will give you invention. God will give you, and we are not just given these ideas or these blueprints. Just remember, okay, the whole concept of Dominionheir lifestyle, living in dominion. So let's go back. So when that was dropped in my spirit in 2015, I bought the domain. I bought the domain, but I spelt it, the way it dropped in my spirit, Dominionheir. I thought, well, millionaire, billionaire. Oh, that's cool. That's different, right? And I bought the domain. Well, fast forward 2 years later in 2017, when we started embarking on the journey, I was corrected by the Holy Spirit. No, you spelt it wrong. I'm like, spelt it wrong. And I'm having this dialogue, right? Because things became real all of a sudden. The journey started, just say that the 2 years in preparation and going back to even 2012, when the original foundation was dropped in my spirit, which is our foundation, One Vision, One Heart. And we'll talk about that at another time. But that is the essence and the foundation of where the Dominionheir concept or the Dominionheir lifestyle lays on. Right? Everyone, building a house, you got to have a solid foundation before you build that house, right? And that goes for business, that goes for a relationship, that goes for everything. If you have a solid foundation, the rest will stand. It'll weather the storms. Why? Because the foundation will keep it rooted. The foundation will keep it, no matter how strong that storm may come, it'll hold, it'll stand. And so, 2012 was the foundation being laid. Again, another name, One Vision, One Heart. Right? Bought the domain. It just said in the realms of the unseen and realms of the spirit. And I'm coming somewhere in why I'm sharing what I'm sharing. And you'll hear me keep referencing the realms of the spirit, the realms of the unseen. Okay. And I'm going to come back to that. But that was the foundation, One Vision, One Heart, 2012, right? So that was left in the realms of the spirit and the unseen. 2015, One Dominionheir. Okay, left there. Now, when 2017 came, since 2015, God was giving me visions. I would see visions every, the ending of a old year into the new year. I would get these visions, but didn't have an understanding. We get visions, and sometimes it has to be interpreted. But I would get these visions each year. It was 2015, 2016, and 2017. All 3 years, I got specific visions that God showed me. But I knew, again, it was for an appointed time. And the 2017 now, when it was time to get things started, we started with a foundation, One Vision, One Heart. We already embarked. The Holy Spirit was saying, do this, do that. But then when we got to the Dominionheir part of the whole vision, in being corrected, I spelt it wrong. And then now I'm asking the Lord, well, what do you mean? And the Holy Spirit said, no, not the world's concept of Dominionheir. in the status of millionaire, billionaire, but
Yes.
HEIR, Dominion Heir. And I'm like, okay. And then the concept then made more sense because the Holy Spirit started ministering to me that we
Mm.
lost dominion from the very beginning. God intended it to be a certain way. There was a certain protocol that was in His Spirit for us here on the earth. And we lost it because of one man, Adam. But then we regained it and much more through another man called Christ. And so we regained dominion, but we just didn't regain dominion. He gave us even much more than just dominion. We became a joint heir with Him, ruling and reigning over the earth. You see, that's a whole nother dimension because yeah, as an heir, you inherit things, right? As uh, a family heirloom, or your loved one die and they leave something for you. You inherit something. You're beneficiary of something. That's what we became. So every covenant that was established on the earth, we became a joint heir of it. So dominion heir. But again, it's reestablishing that lifestyle that was intended from the very beginning of time for us. And this is where the clarification came, the concept came, and the correction came to where we are right now.
Wow, that's amazing. And when you were just speaking there, I just got a better understanding of Genesis chapter number 1, verse 1. Where it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But it goes down to say why He did that and why He went the route that He went. It's because there was darkness, in the face of the deep, and then the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters, and God said, "Let there be light." Then He goes on down, makes sure that there's light, there's stars, there's the moon, there's all that stuff. And then He makes man, and then He says, "Let them have dominion." So I strongly believe that in your life, God has you on the same pattern. And before a man can be given dominion, there needs to be light given to him. In other words, the understanding needs to come. And I just understood something when you were speaking to say, because you had not yet received the full revelation of what it was, then God did not activate the dominion because the light had not yet come. So now that the light has come, I'm excited to see what God has planned, be it for you, and also the men and the women of God that God has brought closer to you so that you can be able to move forward with this vision. Because I know that very soon there is a launch that's going to come. And can you just tell us a little bit about the men and women that you are working with, and about the official launch that's coming forward, be it with My DH Life?
Absolutely. And you mentioned, my DH life, which is actually short for my Dominionheir Lifestyle. So
Mm,
we've shortened it. But one of the things I do want to do before we go there, I want to talk about the Dominion because this is one of the areas. This morning it was just a dynamic time in prayer. Of course, you would know because you were there.
right, right,
Yes, and uh, these prayer are so important. I talk about watering the seed with prayer because we were always elevated each time. We're always and God wants us to come up and live in the realms that He's at, right? It's always an open invitation. We've got to go there. And what was impressed upon my heart. I'm going to look up here in a minute. I'm going to Google Dominion and share because I want people to really get this concept, okay, what God is about to do with the Dominionheir Lifestyle, with what we're about to launch. I see you have Dominionheir TV there, what we're about to do there, the Dominionheir Club, or let's just say the umbrella of the Dominionheir Lifestyle or Dominionheir.
right.
The umbrella, you've seen it. It entails so much more, okay? But we know that God has given us the capacity and the capability, okay? So I thought I was hearing the background. Okay. Um, the capability and the capacity for Dominion. So I'm gonna let me do this. I'm gonna read this real quick for folks. I just want to get the concept and get the idea. So I just Googled Dominion, okay? Because we hear the word, and of course it could be negative dependent on the application, and a lot of times that's
Right.
the case, right? But I looked it up because I want folks to really grasp where we're going with all of this. Okay, so
Right.
so I'm on Google right now. I'm just going to read it right from Google. So what is the biblical meaning of dominion? When you are in charge of something or you rule it, you have dominion over it. The most famous use of the word occurs in the Bible. God grants people dominion over the things, and this is the verse you just referenced. Okay, now I'm going to go further down and look at the literal meaning, uh, the power to rule. Okay, and the context is control of a country or region. Talks about the U.S. Has and hold dominion over like different islands like Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands and Guam and different territories, right? So it's a territory of that the U.S. has dominion, and other countries as well have dominion over different regions. Okay, does dominion mean ownership? And I'm going to read that. Perfect control is right of ownership. Okay, dominion. The word implies both title and possession and appears to require complete retention or control, right, of something. Let's go to an example of dominion. Dominion is defined as control or power over or the authority to rule. When a king has power over a certain territory, right, this is an example of a situation where a king has dominion over that territory. Now, if we look at that part, okay, we serve the King of Kings. So
Right.
obviously he has territory. He has dominion over a specific territory. Okay, so if we move further down and look at the difference between dominion and power, because that we think it's the same. To have dominion is to have power, dominion, power, and according to Google, it's actually quite different. So the as a noun, the difference between dominion and power is that dominion is power or the use of power. Okay, sovereign sovereignty sovereignty over something, supremacy, while power is capability or
Mm.
influence. I'm just going
All
through a
right.
little lesson here, okay, just to go over. Okay, the root word of dominion, it's lordship, supreme authority. All right, the old French dominion or the Latin. So it just basically talks about property ownership or having dominion. All right, I'm just going to go over one more, and we're going to stop here because there's some okay, title and possession. Okay, so we see where it talks about sovereignty. We talk about the laws controlling resources and just having control. So okay, let me come back to you now because I'm done there. Okay, so when we look at the context of dominion and a dominionheir lifestyle, okay, listen, God has literally given us the capability. He said he's created us in what? His image and in his likeness.
Likeness.
Right. So if we really break that down and understand, listen, we have to start literally walking, breathing, thinking dominion. We have to, okay? Because it is time that we stand up, okay, in dominion. Now, let's take the lion of the jungle. The lion is the what of the jungle? Let's see if you
The
know.
king.
Exactly. The lion is the king of the jungle. A king has what? Dominion. We just went
Dominion.
over the Google definition, and it says a king has dominion over a region, and a lion has dominion over the jungle. So we have to let that lion now, right, rise up in this day and age and what's going on in the world right now. I sat down, I started writing this morning because after prayer, a lot was in my spirit, just bubbling and bubbling and bubbling over this topic. And we had talked about getting this segment going and really just let's start talking about it. Yes, we have the launch coming, but it's even so much more greater than just the launch, guys. So much
Mm.
greater. And that greater is this, okay? Is in I don't know, it might have been 3 weeks ago, if you recall, we were in prayer and the Lord impressed upon me, start preparing for what? 2022. Start preparing for 2022. Folks, listen, to live in dominion, there's a preparation process as well. Okay.
Right.
Just like I shared, the ideas came 2012, 2015, and 2017. It was game time, so to speak, right? But it was preparation. And then in 2017 was even more of a urgency for preparation through prayer, right? That's where the prayer teams came out. That's where fervent prayer was essential to really birth. Because see, what God is going to do in 2022, and for us to live in dominion, all we have to do is turn on the news channel and watch and listen to what's going on around the world right now. It's chaos. There's a literal global crisis. There is catastrophe. There is, you name it, it's there, right? What's going on? We've never experienced what we're experiencing now ever in history. I mean, at the magnitude we're experiencing and we're seeing, and it's going to get worse. Okay. And here is the key. And that's why the word came about preparing for 2022. We've got 3 more months left. I'm not even counting this month. It's gone. Right. So we got
Right.
October, November, December. We got 3 months. Okay. And I'm talking about preparing for business. I'm talking about preparing for our personal lives. I'm talking about preparing for our families. Prepare, prepare, prepare. How do we prepare? Okay, we need to start looking at what areas do we need to get dominion. Okay, get dominion. You can't get dominion. I mean, if there's certain areas of your life that's out of control, right? Out of
Right.
control, then we need to identify those areas. I'm talking about every area:
Mm.
finances, relationships, every area of life. And we need to identify those and we need to write them down. We have to write them down. Okay. So we can start praying on those specifics. So in the next 3 months, in that preparation process, we'll put in all the right pieces in place in preparation. So we're going to walk literally right in. Remember, I shared, in 2015, 2016, 2017, these visions, right, as a crossover from one year to the next. Folks, it is going to be instrumental. It's going to be very important walking into 2022 for each one of you. And if you don't prepare, you don't prepare, you don't prepare, okay, you're just going to miss. And I'm telling you what, the windows of heaven is going to be open even more wider for each one of us, okay? Because listen, it is time for God's people, for the people who have ears that are listening, okay, to take control, to take control, to take control, okay,
Mm.
and prepare themselves for what God has for everyone, okay, to prepare themselves for what everyone has. So if they don't take control, okay, if we as individuals don't take control, someone else will take control. Okay. And we don't want those someone else's to be the influences in our lives or even the enemy that's out there through what we see going on in the world right now. Because remember, it's all about control. To live in dominion is control. We just went over the definition in Google. That's Google's definition, right? To
Right.
live in dominion is control. So who has dominion over your life? Who has dominion over, your circumstances? Who has dominion over, you know, everything I just mentioned? You've got to ask yourself that question. Who has dominion? And if you don't have dominion through Christ, if you don't have dominion over these things, then we need to identify and prepare to take back control and take back dominion in 2022. Okay, because we are going to walk into, and I'm going to get back to what we're talking about. This is just burning on me. I got to share. Okay,
Right.
so if you want to interject, please. I mean, go ahead.
No, no,
Anything
that's
you want
okay.
to
That's
share?
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So the preparation for 2022 in every aspect of life. Les Brown, he says is the best. He said, "I would rather prepare, and not get an opportunity or chance than to get an opportunity and not be prepared." Is the worst place to be, to get an opportunity and not be prepared. Okay.
You're making me to run all over here, but because I'm in the seat, I can't go anywhere. Because what you said right there is very key. Why? Because I strongly believe that one of the reasons why Adam could not keep his dominion was because he never got the chance to prepare. He was only formed out of the dust of the ground. The breath of the Lord was just breathed into him. He became a living soul. He was given a garden. He was told to manage it. He never had the time to prepare. So when the serpent came, it was easy for him to lose it. Why? Because he had dominion but it didn't have preparation.
That's it. That's exactly right. Didn't have preparation. So, folks, just hear me out. This whole concept of living in Dominion and what we're about to launch, and I'm going to go over what we're about to launch. But listen, in 2022, a lot of us, and the ones who are preparing right now, it is His desire for us to live in the heavenly realm, to that become a normal part of our lives, to live in that realm. Okay, this is where true dominion, we're going to experience it. Okay, it is His desire to bring us there with Him. And why? Because we are now we will operate from uh, I would say an advantage point, because then we see, right, from aerial view what's going on in circumstances in the world, right? You think about storms, or a dust storm, or just a storm you're in, and it's cloudy, it's foggy. You can't see beyond where you can see, right? But if you
Right.
get rise above it, guess what? You can see exactly, okay, this storm is just, it's going to end here in about an hour, right? Because you see beyond that storm, you see beyond where the natural eyes can't see. So when we could get to a point where we're elevated and we have a perspective, or we're living more in dominion, dominion gives us an advantage. Okay, it gives us an advantage when we're connected. So we want to be in that vantage point, if you will. Now let's talk about what we were going to talk about. You were saying now.
Yes, I was saying that, you know, even when God wanted to make sure that the earth was dominated, He made sure that He needed men to be able to actuate that in the physical. So, in as much as God would want us to have dominion, and as much as God has told you to tell the people that they need to prepare, that message is definitely for the people. It is not for anyone else but the people. And I'm excited because we have people who are going to be watching this, and I believe that on this journey, God has given you men and women who have been key, and are going to be very instrumental to make sure that what God has given you and laid upon your heart is going to manifest.
Yes, amen. Okay, so my DH life, you're asking me about my DH life, and
Right.
what we're doing there. Okay, so when the uh concept was dropped in my spirit about the Dominionheir lifestyle, we are literally in phase three of the whole project. We In 2017 we embarked on some really high level innovation that God showed me. But there was a few detours in the whole process. But at the same time, we had launched One Vision, One Heart, and the countries that was on my spirit, we actually started, which was the Philippines, South Africa, and India, and then some work here in the U.S. But again, we embarked, we started the contacts, but then it still wasn't the right time. It just
Right.
wasn't the right time. Okay,
Mm.
and sometimes you look at it and then you go, okay. So there was a few that literally all of 2017 was a start, but a year of some serious challenges, because once you start, your work, meaning your assignment, is going to come with a lot of challenges. It's going to come with a lot of resistance, and that's where now the true essence of us literally, you know, how should I say this? Us believing in the calling, or us believing in the prophecy, or us believing in the word, or us believing in that spiritual download becomes even more so important. This is where faith now kicks in, right? This is where, if we look at, the words given to Abraham and to Isaac and to all the patriarchs, if you look at all the promises that was given, those promises will always be put through a test to see what truly is in one's heart, right? And if you could
Right.
withstand the test, then oh my goodness, wait till God just kind of said, okay, all yours, go for it, son, go for it, daughter. You see, it's a what, and we're experiencing that now. So 2017, 2018, 19, 20, we're in 2021, right? So let me make sure it's right. All 17. So let's go 18, 19, 20, 20. Okay, so 4 years in the makings, right? So we in 2018 launched phase one, which was the beta test of my DH Life. and we made a few adjustments, and then we went back to the drawing board. We revamped everything under Dominion Founders Club. We relaunched again, right, phase two, and made so we realized, okay, we've got it. We've got the formula. We just need to tweak it now and bring more definition to what we're doing. And here we are now. And in the process, though, one thing I will say and for the ones who know me, is praying that God will bring all the right people, the right team, the right staff, the right ones to come along us to help take the vision, because it's not about me, it's about the vision, right? And so and that have been the prayer. I've watched through the years, some have come, some have gone, some have stuck, some have, and then even the new ones that are coming. It's just amazing to watch, God at work and what He's doing. So now we're in the final phase, and what I'm excited about is the team that we have, and what God has already put together, and what we're about to introduce to the world.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Apostle, and I'm excited as well for that which you have coming on. And let's get to the most key person that you are going to be working with, who is the Vice President of Operations, Scott Bland. I believe he has got some awesome things up his sleeve. Just tell us a little bit about Scott Bland and what he will be pushing through as his main teaching in my DH life.
Absolutely. So I'm glad you mentioned Scott and some of the ones that are with us. So let me segment each one, and I'll share, again, we talk about, God divinely connecting us with the team right now. Scott brings a tremendous amount of value in that, first off, he's a worship leader. He created a series called The Process to Be, which is a mindset coaching series. And he is one that loves to see transformation in one's life, no matter where they're at, because he understands this concept too. In order to live in dominion, it starts with the mind. It starts with a shifting of the mind. And we know it says we've got to have the mind of Christ. So it starts with a mindset. And you listen to any guru, I don't care if it's Tony Robbins, you listen to Jim Rohn, you listen to Les Brown, you listen to Zig Ziglar. I mean, you listen to all of them, Brian Tracy, they all tell you the exact same thing. It's, you got to get rid of stinking thinking, right? And put on a more, that's right. I mean, because that's really what leads people down the wrong road. You see, and Scott is a believer in that too, in terms of, and that's why his series is called The Process to Be. The process to be, exactly, to be. You're not there yet, but it's a process to get there, you see. And and in conversations with him, is actually, it's kind of ironic because him and I crossed paths years ago. And I'm trying to think, oh yes, through a mutual platform. It's how I found him years ago, and we actually talked years ago. And then fast forward to come to DH Life now in phase two, a gentleman was having a private webinar, and wanted me to speak, obviously, and shared the DH Life concept, and the vision. And lo and behold, guess who's there in this private webinar? Scott. And I said, wait a minute. And he goes, wait a minute. And I go, wait a minute. I was like, okay, where do I know him from? And then right after the webinar, it clicked, we connected, and here we are today. And now he's the VP of Operation. And he's taken ownership of this project. And, so I'm very excited. He's even more so excited, for the relaunch, because what is about to happen in 2022 is bar none, because, we talk about Dominion, and each aspect of my DH life, provides a level of dominion over the specific product offering that we have. So mindset is one of them, and this is where Scott is gonna just shine and really help our membership base and everyone else out in the world.
Wow, that's amazing, Apostle. And why I say it's amazing is because I've realized something. For the past, I would say more than 5, 6 months, half a year almost.
Mhm.
Almost 99.9% of what has happened to my life via the grace and the provision of God has been through crypto. And I was saying something that was amazing. I think we were together on that. I think it was online or one of the calls that I mentioned to you. And I said, my desire is that we are going to become the first ministry that has everyone 100% owning crypto, because many of the people outside there, they're really looking down upon crypto and Bitcoin and all of that stuff. And you have really, really taken the time to spearhead, training and coaching when it comes to crypto and, you know, blockchain technology and also training in there. And I believe that after mindset training, you're jumping the people into crypto and blockchain technology. Can you just also share a little bit about what you're going to be doing in there in terms of crypto and blockchain technology?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because that is one of the other packages that we have um, in training. I since 2010, was aware of Bitcoin. It was introduced to me. Never really did anything because I was busy with our companies. And 2015 was when I got the opportunity to really dive in. I was helping a colleague with one of his projects. It was a crowdfunding platform powered by Bitcoin. But I was always curious about the technology. And when I dove into the technology, which is blockchain technology, that's when the light bulb went on for me. I realized this is the future. This is the new internet. And the more and more I dig and the more and more I research, I mean, the light bulb literally went on. In mid 2017, I was talking, ecosystems and tokenization of ecosystems, and people like, what is he talking about? I mean, it was only like maybe one or two companies, and they
Yeah,
literally was talking about that, right? People were just hearing
right.
about Bitcoin or learning about Bitcoin or right in the trend and figuring all that out. And I'm saying, man, we could tokenize a whole ecosystem, create our own world. And, you know, I, I had to put the whole everything I literally had to put on hold. But then as time went on, 2017, 2018, we were talking about our own development of the Dominion token and, innovation. And the more and more I study, I was watching the innovation and the advancement of this whole industry. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this paradigm shift, a literal paradigm shift taking place, a reset taking place. And
Right.
and I said to myself, there's a lot if you look at 2017 and all the wealth that was created secretly, really it was. I mean, so many multimillionaires and billionaires was created overnight in 2017 secretly. Okay. And then it gained a global attention. And now recently you have billionaires like Elon Musk and Warren Buffett. And, I mean, all the billionaires are talking about crypto and talking about Bitcoin. And now because of that exposure, the average person now is starting to be open up and they want to know more about Bitcoin. So I said, this is where what the Bible talks about, right? His people perish for lack of what? Knowledge. And I want
Knowledge.
to give the knowledge. Exactly. When you have knowledge, right, you have a better understanding of whatever it may be. Not what, broke Uncle Joe tells you, but no, you're getting valuable information. Not let's do you want to listen to broke Uncle Joe and broke Aunt Susie, or do you want to listen to what Elon Musk and Warren Buffett and all the billionaires have to say? I think I would listen to them, right? So,
Right.
so since they're talking about it, what are they saying? What did they see as the future? So what we did was we created the Dominion Academy, and we keep it simple. Okay, what is Bitcoin? I mean, a lot of people don't even know what it is. What is cryptocurrency? What is blockchain? There's so much more advanced topics in the whole space now, like the whole DeFi market, right? What is DeFi? What is NFTs? We're hearing about that now. What is all this? So it's so advanced and so much innovation that ones who just want to know about, okay, what's Bitcoin? Oh, it's a digital currency. Okay, digital. Could I put it in my wallet? how do you put a digital? Oh, no, 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 no. You need an electronic wallet. Okay, what is
Yeah.
electronic wallet? Okay, here are the different electronic wallets. Okay, what's the difference? I hear there's a soft wallet and a hard wallet. What is it a wallet that's soft and one that's hard? No, 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 no. That's not what that is, right? So our goal is to give the knowledge, but I would rather see our members and see folks, right? Uh, get the information so they can be proactive, right, and prepare, than to wait. And then when things become a norm, now they're being reactive. You see, so that's the worst that you get is to be reactive, but be proactive. And that's what the Dominionheir Academy. And we're going to add more and more. But the cryptocurrency and the blockchain is just the start of the knowledge, so people can prepare themselves for this paradigm shift.
No, that's true, because it doesn't matter how much people like it or not. The truth of the matter is this is happening, and that is where the world is going. If you look at the inventions and the successes that people have managed to see, we've got some people have managed to break through the earth and come back privately, and very soon we have people who are going to be able to have vacations on the moon. So it's
Mhm.
going to be very possible to actually have a honeymoon on the moon itself very soon. And we've got some people who are really pushing that and making sure that they are able, be it to break those limitations and push as much as they can. And believe you me, if they are able to do that, crypto and blockchain technology, understanding how Bitcoin works, that is going to be very key, and that is going to be very, very important for people to be able to understand that. You also have financial training, and when talking about financial training, uh, the first thing that comes to my mind is the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and also one of my favorite books is The Richest Man in Babylon. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say about financial training, because the average, child is not raised, unfortunately, in a place where they sit on the table, and discuss finances.
That is absolutely right. If I look back, like you're saying, it's not something the average family sit, at the table and teach, right? I was never taught finances. I just saw my mom and my dad, and how they managed. Of course, I had an early start in life, so I mismanaged. I didn't manage finances very well, actually. So there was a lot of mismanagement because I just didn't know. I didn't know better, right?
Right.
I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses and get the nice car and get this and get that. I thought that that was, a proper use of finances. I never thought about, saving or investing or these type of things. I would hear about it, but never really apply it. So through a lot of years of trial and error, years of hardship, if you will, because when I had, I spent, and when I didn't have, I didn't have, right? And so we go through these roller coasters in life when it comes to finances. And then at times too, you hear from God, and you're going down that journey, and you go through the test. So there's many different facets, right, when it comes to finances and our experience with finances. So the financial training aspect, I'm really excited about, and I'll tell you why. The individual that's actually providing that service is Bishop Ricky Johnson out of California. He's got his church there, but it's his passion. You see, what God has done is he has brought people with passions in this specific field. Scott passion is mindset. He knows it starts there, right? My passion is many things, but focusing on the Dominionheir Academy and just bringing in the knowledge of where we're shifting and where we're headed, because it's going to be the norm in years to come. We don't know what that would be, but I equate that to when World Wide Web was introduced, and when electronic mail, emails was introduced years and years ago, right? A lot of people didn't believe it, they couldn't see it, but it's the norm today, as to where blockchain technology will be the norm tomorrow. But then when it comes to the finances, you see, Ricky Johnson's heart is to equip people and educate them on how to properly manage their finances, because this is key, guys. Okay, because we all work, we all earn somehow, right? But it's when we get that money, what do we do with it? Are we being wise stewards? Are we being wise? Because we could read in the word where certain amount of talents was given to three individuals, and we know the story of the reward. You probably could explain that just a tad bit about the three talents, and share with them about those the three men that were given a measure of talents.
Yeah, so it actually talks about one was given five, the other was given three, and the other was given one. And the one who was given five, he multiplied, got double, and then the one with three did the same. And then the last guy who had one, he was more like, I know that my master wants to repo it, did not sow. So instead of doing anything, he just literally took that one and put it under the ground and gave his excuse, to the master. And then the master was very angry at him. He said, why couldn't you at least put it in the bank so that it would grow some interest? And after that statement, he called in his guys and he says, take this man, he's a wicked servant, throw him in a place where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. And that was the end of that parable that Jesus was talking about.
So based on what you just shared on that parable, so we have to be even more careful and wise, right? In terms of multiplying. Okay. And this is how Dominion, guys, and this is where when it comes to the finances, I'm going to share several things on finances. You reference Rich Dad Poor Dad and the four quadrant. And this is something we're actually developing right now, some curriculum around that. And understand the four quadrant, the employee mindset, the self-employed mindset, the business owner mindset, and an investor mindset. You see, where God wants us to be in those four quadrant is the fourth quadrant, and that's being an investor. This is where money is working for you while you're playing, you're sleeping, you're doing the work of God, whatever you're doing, money is working for you. And this is where we want the members of the Dominionheir Lifestyle to start thinking. Now, one of the things that I'm working on, God gave me this idea, and is how to help people live off 50% of what they earn. And then the other 50%, okay, I'm going to tell you the formula, but I'm not going to share how we're going to do this. But the other 50%, take 10% and give, tithe, bless. There's power in giving, okay? There's tremendous power in giving. So that 10% goes towards that. The other 10%, take 10% and start paying off your debt, right? Start chipping away at your debt. Take the smallest one, pay it off. Take the amount you would normally pay on that one and add it to a second one. Double those payments, but start paying. But 10% you'll have funds. Take 10% and invest. This is what we're talking about. So now you have a portion you could put into investment, whether it be precious metals, whether it be land, whatever is on your heart. Or we would tell you, hey, this is the best investment for this month or this week or whatever, because we're going to be working with individual that will bring this. Okay, take 10% now, and you want to save it. How many of us have savings? How many of us have even $1,000 in savings? Not many. I would say maybe 2 out of every 10 could say they have about $1,000 in a savings account, right? A lot of us don't. But if we create this formula where now 10% goes right into the savings, because remember, we're teaching you how to live off 50% of your income. This other 50%, we're being wise with it. And then the last 10%, take 5 and put it away for what? A rainy day fund. Because think about it. How many times we have loved ones or family or whomever, friends, neighbors that are in need, and we ourselves are in need. And if we're in need, how could we help them, right? Or maybe we help them with $5 or $10, but their need is much greater than that. We feel bad, but at least we help them with something. But if you had a fund put away that, no matter what, you're prepared. You're not taken away from your income. You're not taken away from any responsibility, because that's just extra put away. See? And then the last 5% for entertainment. I mean, enjoy the money you're making. What good if you're going to make all the money if you can't enjoy it, right? But again, it comes back to the management of finances. And I'm excited for Ricky Johnson. Some of his courses, one of them I'll share and we'll move on, is he said, look, one of the things that people don't realize, you could own nothing but control everything. And he teaches those strategies. How do you own everything but you don't own but you control? What is that all about? We've got it for you in the Dominionheir Lifestyle financial training.
Hey, Wow, I'm telling you, I'm excited already, and I can already see the vision, and I must say that this is something that's great, that's unique. That in the midst of such a season that we're in, not only as individuals but as each and everyone who's on the planet Earth, these are programs that people need to take advantage of. And talking about such a season that we are in as individuals with the whole pandemic, what we're seeing what COVID has done, and there's a whole lot of things happening now. There's vaccines, rolling out. People are questioning: should I take it? Should I not? Should I travel? Should I not? And then all that comes down to how you need to understand health and wellness, because each and everyone wants to be well. Each and everyone wants to make sure that their health is intact. And I'm excited because you have got mindset training, you've got crypto and blockchain, you've got financial training, and you also have health and wellness.
I do. And that's another area that's really I have a passion for because I'm a chef by trade. For the ones who know me, they know this. And that's one of the other gifts God has blessed me with. Because, we have one body, one temple, right? One opportunity on this earth. And
All right.
the only vehicle we have is what we see here. So we have to take care of it. Like if buying a vehicle, you've got to maintain it. You don't change the oil, guess what? The manufacturer says, here's a list of maintenance that you have to make sure you do. Every 10,000 miles, every 20,000, every 50, he gives you the manufacturer gives you a list, right, of what you need to do to maintain that vehicle. Well, our body's no different,
Right.
right? We have to maintain this body for optimal performance, and that's what it's about. And the fuel to our body is what? Food. There's a lot of other aspects like rest and exercise and different parts that we focus on. Well, I'm excited for the uh, health and wellness segment of the Dominionheir Lifestyle because it encompasses even more than just the food. Because here's another part a lot of people don't think about. Okay, you see, we've you look back in the 1950s, 60s, where electronics wasn't even introduced, right? We were just in the country, farming, living off the land, hanging out in the neighborhood with friends. There was no such thing as electronics back then, right? It was a healthier lifetime, and the lifespan was much longer. Now here we are today, bombarded with all this technology, right? You look at children
Right.
nowadays; they're all of them on little devices, whether it be phone playing games or their tablets or whatever. But what we don't realize, okay, is the electronic magnetic fields that come off these devices. It actually
Mm,
affects our health too. Microwaves affects our health too. Why? Because
that's
it's
true.
doing internal damage we don't think about. Because why? It's the norm. Okay, we flip on our computers, we turn on our phones, we heat up food in a microwave, right? Convenience. We don't think about it. But folks, it is literally damaging the inside just as much as eating too much fatty food or all the wrong
Right.
foods, right? Can
Right.
damage your physical body. Okay, and now the introduction of 5G network. Okay, we probably heard a lot of stuff about that. So I'm
Right.
excited. Our health and wellness focuses, that's one of the area we're focusing on is the EMF shield. So we have products now to help folks block off these shields, especially 5G on your devices. We educate you on it so you're aware. Because again, it's bringing the awareness, right? Bringing the knowledge about these areas that people otherwise wouldn't even think about, you see. And so this is where the health and wellness for us comes in. Then we also have, in terms of exercise and nutrition, I'm very excited because the individual that's going to be, I'm going to share anything yet that's going to be providing those products and services for the physical, like nutrition and exercise and all that. I'm excited to introduce it, but this is what we focus on at the Dominionheir Lifestyle in terms of health and wellness. So we go above and beyond just the nutritional, just the exercise, just that part of the physical body.
Right. And And you know what I like about each and everyone who's coming here, not only are they passionate about it, there are people who've got a proven track record and they know what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and to produce the
Hmm.
desired results. So this is not, just a bunch of people that came together at a coffee party or whatever, tea party, and decided, oh wow, man, everyone's starting a company, let's start something. These are individuals, the track record, and it's guaranteed that each and everyone is going to be a part of what you are doing. They're guaranteed to have uh, results. And talking about guarantees, we need to make sure that we have the law on our hands so that just in case something goes wrong, we've got legal backing. And you make sure that, there is also legal training.
That is right. And I'm excited about that part too, because, one of the things, and again, one thing I do want to say, in regards to each one of the uh, uh, training that we have, a lot of it has to do with uh, experiences and bring in, let's just say, the solutions, okay, to a
Right.
lot of the things that I've personally experienced. You talk about legal. Actually, I just turned on, which I'm going to talk about here. I'm excited. Our legal counsel for Dominionheir Lifestyle is also our legal trainer. So we have legal training. And people may wonder, why legal training? Why do you need legal training? Folks, oh my goodness, if you don't have this protection, okay, think about this. Each one of us, okay, whether it be the things we say to brand ourselves, our ideas, our inventions, our books, all this, right, is what you call intellectual property. It's your property. It came from you, from within. God gave you those gifts. But there's so many wolves in sheep clothing out there just waiting to steal your idea. Steal something you say and run with it because it sounds good. See, they can't go to God and get their own ideas, right? These are the thieves that are
Right.
out there. These are the ones that are out there to destroy, right? These are the ones out there to kill your dreams, right? So it's even ever more so important to get legal counsel, legal protection to protect your intellectual property. I can tell you stories after stories, and I've been through this. Trust me, I have been through this, okay? Where you go on uh, what looks good, what sounds good, trust, you believe in people, you want to help people, and there's nothing wrong with none of that. Those are good um, characters of the God kind. But again, we've got to be wise, right? There's a saying in the Bible about being wise as a what? I think you know it.
Yeah, it's as gentle as a dove, but as wise as a serpent.
Exactly. So we have to be wise. And in order to use that type of wisdom, we need legal protection to protect your ideas so people don't steal it. And I can tell you again stories. An example would be a company that worked its way to literally was on its way to multi-million, if not a multi-billion dollar concept. The owners passed and
Right.
everything was left, and no one knew who owned what, how everything's connected. So everything got dismantled. There was fights over estates, and there was fight over this and who owns this. And I've seen that time over time in partnerships. I've seen it time over time. And we've guys, years ago, you could have done business on a handshake. We see through the Bible. We see it through back in the early days, in the early, 40s, 50s, probably,
Right.
business was done in a handshake, right? There was
Mm.
character in people. Today, none. Forget it. So I am excited to share what we have in terms of legal training. Our trainer, okay, is Dr. Leedy Lewis. She's done TED Talks. She teaches on monetizing your business. She teaches on, and she's on a mission to create millionaires, through their own personal enterprises. And she teaches how to do all this. So I'm very excited for her. And we do have everything. We've been working behind the scenes, and getting all the curriculum up in the back. But there's so much more that she brings to the table. When you listen to her just talk and just basic common sense she talks, right? But it's stuff you don't
Right.
think about. It's just stuff you
Mm.
just don't think about. You might hear about it, but you don't think about it because you don't think it really applies to you until you're in a situation. But you don't
Yeah.
want to be in a situation to need legal advice or legal help. You want to be proactive and put things in place, like writing a will or having a trust or all these things you don't think about now. But we don't have a crystal ball and we don't know what the future holds. So there's nothing wrong with putting things in place and safeguarding you, safeguarding your asset, safeguarding what rightfully belongs to your children and generation, right? The word of God says a wise man leaves an inheritance for what? His children and children, and I said generations. But if you don't safeguard it, guess what? There's nothing to be left for them. Because why?
Mm.
The vultures and the wolves will take it all before they even get it.
Wow. And talking about that, that's a very important to make sure that you have the legal counsel, everything is documented. No one needs to fight for the car, no one needs to fight for the house, no one needs to fight for anything when you're no longer there because you applied the wisdom that you have been given in these trainings and you've been told how to write a will, how to write staying closed. What happens, when your loved ones also passes on? You can literally be able to preserve generations to come simply because you did the right thing. And when it comes to legal stuff, you need to learn to do it right the first time. So yes, Apostle, I'm excited with what I'm seeing God is going to be doing here. And I know that each and everyone who's been listening to us is clearly seeing that this vision is going to take the nations by storm, and that it is not self-centered. We are here to serve the people. You are there as the chief visionary officer to make sure that this vision is delivered to each and everyone who wants to live a life of dominion. And it's not only about living. I'm excited because I can see that you made sure that this lifestyle should be all around, that everywhere. Everyone needs to be able to have dominion. So if the Bible says we must have dominion, on the earth, and the earth and everything in it belongs to the Lord, what about if I want to go to Dubai? What about if I want to go to China? What about if I want to go to the Bahamas, or if I want to go to South Africa or to Zimbabwe or to Israel to have a tour, should I be excited now about the last one, which is the travel and discounts?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Should you be excited? Absolutely. Because see, listen, uh, a lot of people don't realize, okay, just business in general, right? So there's wholesale and there's retail. So, you buy wholesale, you sell retail. But a lot of people don't realize in travel, there is wholesale prices and there's retail prices. So you go on the internet and you search, right? Well, you're paying retail. So we, for our members, have provided wholesale pricing. So you get tremendous discounts by being a member of DH Life. Tremendous discount on travel. And we're talking about discounts on airfare, on car rental, hotels, excursions. I mean, you name it. We have packages, all-inclusive packages one can get all at wholesale price. And it's all included in the membership that you purchase. Now, the other exciting part we talked about, you mentioned about discounts. Well, we have our discount directory. And what am I more excited about that this discount directory? Not only are we giving you additional discounts at places outside of what the travel portal offers, but we get to work with local merchants, and this is where the empowerment comes and helping them, because again, we're blessed to be a blessing, right? And even with local merchants, to help them, that provides any type of service within the travel industry, to put them okay on our directory. And our members gets to support them and help them, because too many times you see the large conglomerates just stepping all over the the mom and pops businesses, and they're trying to make a living too. They have dreams of starting their own business and grow it to where the big conglomerates are, right? But
Right.
what happens when you get so big? What do? You crush the competition, and unfortunately, it's our mom, our dad, our uncles, our family, our friends are getting crushed, right? They're just trying to, just be on the scene and provide just wholesome, good service. You see, so our goal with our directory is to highlight these small to medium-sized businesses that are within the service world of travel or hospitality world.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And I just want to us to wrap it up by saying you also have some advisors, right? You also have some advisors, and I know there's Asha Patel there. There's Dawn also, and there is Belinda Ramsey. And yeah, this is a solid,
Yes, I'm glad
vision.
you said.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. So, a company is only good as the people around them, right? When I'm talking about a company, is the employees, is the group of advisors, is the members. And there's a book written called Good to Great. And Good to Great, just talks about, I think it's John Collins wrote that book, but it talks about all the companies that were status quo, but at some point they went to greatness. And they did I don't know, it was like 10-year study. How did these companies go to greatness that were almost failing too, right? And what
right.
they found out is a lot of these companies, the owners or the CEOs took the time, okay, to listen. They took the time to leave their 25th floor office and go down to the employee lunchroom, if you will, and listen, because these are the ones that have the ideas. These are the ones that are day in day out doing the work. These are the ones that are saying, man, if these companies would only do it this way, it would be so much better. If they would do it this way, it'd be so much more efficient. Or if they'll do it this way, they can make so much more money, right? But these owners that listen, those were the advisors, right? And they would listen. If it made sense, they made the adjustments. And those minor adjustments boost up morale, boost up productivity, and more important, the bottom line improved. And these companies just skyrocketed to greatness and maintain. And so for me, with DH Life, where it is today was from all the suggestions, okay? All the complaints, because I take complaints, and I'll tell you why. If a person is unhappy about something, why are you unhappy? I want to know so I can fix it. Okay.
Right.
All the suggestions and our advisory board, which includes, of course, you, Prophet Lovemore, Belinda Ramsey, who've been part of the prayer team for many years as well. And, you joined the prayer team and then advice. We have Don in Nigeria, who's instrumental in that region in spreading the word. We have Yahasha Patel, who is focused on India and that region. Who else do we have? Of course, Scott is on our VP of Operation. We got Dr. Liddy Lewis, who's our legal counsel. And then if we look at everyone else around our whole team, we've got our graphic designer, Dewey in the Philippines. We've got Lamar, who's our brand agent. He's responsible for all the designs. We look at our video team. We look at who am I forgetting? I know we got so many. Our writer. We got Ronald, who
Yeah.
does all our writing for us. Who else? We got so many on our team that have been loyal for years, and so what the product you see today is a result of our faithful members, our loyal members, and our advisors, and our whole team, and all our staff. And what you're about to see is a, a, a collective effort to make something great to empower lives and change lives. So I'm very excited about where we're at and what we're about to launch and introduce.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yes, of course, I know that as we're speaking, there are a lot of people who are saying, okay, I hear what Steve Sughrim is saying. I want to be a part of it. How do I get in touch with him? And I just want to say, each and everyone who's watching this or who will be listening to it on audio, you can always get in touch with the Dominionheir himself, Steve Sughrim, on stevesughrim.me or text DH Life to 59925 to make sure that you stay up to date. Is there anything that you would want to just leave our viewers and our listeners with today?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the time, and we try to keep it within an hour, but there's so much we wanted to share because we were so excited about what's about to happen here and what we're about to unleash. Because truly, I look at this as a time of, for everyone, in terms of what we have to offer, is a time of to refresh and rejuvenate and get re-energized and get restored in every capacity of life. But what I'm more excited about is, bringing. Each one of our trainers on a segment so they could share their heart. You've heard me now. I want them to share their heart and why they're part of DH Life. We're going to hear from Scott. We're going to hear from Dr. Lee. We're going to hear from Ricky Johnson. We're going to hear from everyone that's provided and the advisors. We're going to have different segments. So I'm excited really for the future of the company, but I'm more excited for the members because they get the best of the best from these professionals that are going to be providing for them. Like you said, these are not some group of novices. These guys have been there, been there. Dr. Lydia done TED Talks. Some of her clients are, we're talking about A class clients. Scott have been instrumental in some of the clients he's worked with, in the coaching department, and then Ricky Johnson with Ricky is very interesting because he goes to leaders. We're talking about church leaders, okay? Some big names you guys would know if I call them out, and work with them to bring that awareness that, listen, people need to learn. They need to learn this financial skill. You see, so everything that we have to offer, I'm excited for our members because they're going to get so much value, so much value. And what we just shared was just the surface. We've got a lot more coming. We've been behind the scenes talking about our conference, the Dominionheir Summit that we're planning for next year. That's coming. We've got the Dominionheir TV, which you see right here. This is part of the Dominionheir TV. We got the Dominionheir Club, which is our own personal prepaid debit MasterCard. It's a crypto card. What else we have? We've got we got so much coming, right? But
marketing systems as well.
Marketing systems. Yeah, I'm just so excited about what God is doing. And again, if I leave anything to your point and your question, is this, okay? God wants the best for all of us. He really does. 2022 is going to be instrumental for everyone. Listen to what I'm telling you, but you got to prepare for it. You've got to prepare, but prepare in such a way that you're going to walk in and step into victory, and you're going to step into dominion over everything that you've been praying for, believing for, dreaming for, the inventions, everything. Okay, no matter what God has put in your heart and in your spirit, 2022 it will happen for you. Why? Because He needs now, right, us to rise up in 2022 for a reason, to rise up in dominion, to rise up in dominion. He rise up in dominion. Listen to what I'm saying. We've got to walk in dominion. It's the only way we can get control of the territory again. It's the only way we can let our light shine again. It's the only way things can happen and shift again is by living in dominion and living a Dominionheir lifestyle.
That's true, Apostle. And I just want to take this time just to say thank you to you and to each and every of our viewers who was able to just join us today. And yes, same time next week, we are going to be here and we'll be hearing from the men and women that the Apostle was talking about. And I'm telling you, it's going to be exciting. 2022, I strongly believe, just as you are mentioning it, that is going to be amazing. And I know that even before we get to the end of 2022, we are going to have men and women that we have testimonies. We're going to have, men and women who are going to say, this is what I was able to accomplish. This is what I learned. But most importantly, this is what I saved. This is what I was able to do. And this is what I was able to build or buy. And this is what I was able to prevent because of the legal counsel that I got. This is how I made sure that I'm back on shape. This is how I invested in some crypto and made sure I get access and utilize, blockchain technology. And yes, while I was doing it, I was enjoying my Dominionheir lifestyle because I managed to fly, to Dubai. I managed to go to and come back and do all of that simply because there was a travel discount and a directory that was able, be it to utilize, because I was a part of what my DH life was doing. So I just want to take this time just to say thank you so much, Apostle Steve Sughrim. You are indeed the Dominionheir, and we will see you next time. And to each and everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And up until we meet each other next time, I just want to say be blessed and continue living a life of dominion just the way that God has ordained it to be lived. God bless you, and see you next time. Shalom.
All right. Bye for now.
Millions of people around the world are experiencing financial hardship. A 2018 Gallup poll showed the economic crises have had a lasting effect on people's well-being worldwide. There were over 105 million bankruptcy filings globally in 2017. And even billionaire Bill Gates said recently that another global financial crisis is a certainty. Are you not experiencing the financial well-being you want? Are you struggling with expenses like medical bills, credit card debt, mortgages, and auto loans? Are you worried about your savings, college tuition for your children, or your retirement? We don't believe life was made to be lived like this, and that's why we developed DH Life, a comprehensive financial education and opportunity program designed to help us reap the rewards we deserve. DH Life is here to create nothing short of a new era of human prosperity. The D stands for the way our lives should be lived, in dominion. H stands for our status as heirs of God's riches. And life stands for your new lifestyle as a Dominion heir. Here's how we've helped people just like you re-envision their relationship to wealth and achieve the security and independence they've dreamed of. First, we're going to educate you about wealth-growing opportunities you might not have been aware of. Your new knowledge will help you break the chains of your old thinking about work, money, and wealth. DH Life can help you set up your own business where you're not only earning from your own sales, but from the sales of those working under you. These are just a few of the opportunities made available by DH Life. And since DH Life is dedicated to helping end suffering around the world, you can feel good knowing our foundation, One Vision, One Heart, is providing education and humanitarian aid to communities in need around the globe, and your work will help build on that. So, if you're tired of struggling financially, if you're tired of thinking you could do so much more if you only knew how and where to find the right opportunities, now is the time to let go of despair and reach out for hope and opportunity. DH Life is here to help you achieve the Dominion lifestyle with a new understanding of finances, wealth, and the cryptocurrency revolution. Join the revolution today.